Hi, Francesca.
Hi, Jaime.
Thank you very much for accepting. Could you tell us a bit about you?
Sure. My name is Francesca Sangiorgi, and I'm originally Italian. Italian. I studied at the University of Bologna, and then about 15 years ago, I moved to the Netherlands, so where it's actually where I now work at the University of Utrecht in the Netherlands, in a group called Marine Palaeontology and Paleoceanography, where I am associate professor. And yeah, so that's a little bit about me, I think, very shortly.
Talking about paleontology, could you tell us a bit about what you like from micropaleontology?
Well, the most enjoyable part of micropaleontology is, especially now, having the time to actually use the microscope, which is right next to me at the moment. This is my favorite tool, and it's a kind of Zen action when I can actually spend days looking at beautiful dinoflagellate cysts under the microscope. That's the most enjoyable part. Of course, I do like the idea of looking at microscope and microfossils, which are telling us so much about Earth's history, and especially in my case, ocean history. So I think these are the two most important parts: looking back in time and enjoying beautiful images under the microscope. Yeah, at the same time, I think you can very much use your imagination while you are sitting at the microscope, and actually figuring out why certain species are found at a certain time and what may have happened to enable them to be there at a certain point at a certain time. So that's really fascinating. It's a little bit of a mystery solving.
And can you tell us a bit about what you do and future plans?
What I do mostly now is, in terms of research, I'm mostly specialized in modern dinoflagellate cyst. And with that, I try to, and I will try also to continue on this field to actually put the present and ongoing climate change into a historical perspective. So we know that the planet is changing, and we are part of, and actually the cause most likely of the changes. But I think that we can't really look at the present and even not look at the future if we don't put everything into an historical context. So that's most of my research goes into that direction. And other parts of the research is looking more deeply back in time, like I work especially in polar areas, and I work on a time scale that is the last 20 million years, specifically on Miocene climate change. Everybody, I think, working in climate change knows that probably the Miocene has witnessed changes in climate which are potentially quite analogous to what's happening now. So my curiosity is to look at the polar areas and to understand how they changed during that period, in which conditions were warm as now, and possibly or likely a little bit warmer.
Could you tell us if there was any role model you had?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, because I have to really admit, especially if I look at women, I have always worked in Italy in a university where actually women were probably the same number as high level as men. So for me, I was just looking around and seeing women everywhere until I ended up in the Netherlands, where I discovered that actually women were the exception. But I must admit, I also didn't really have a mentor or a role model woman scientifically. I always looked at my mom and my grandma, who have worked their entire life with a lot of determination and a lot of passion. So even if they were working in a completely different field. I think I just follow that determination. And so being or having ended up in a world that is most really male oriented, I hope with my passion and my determination to actually be the role model, and I am told that I am sometimes, of my many female students that are actually around me every day. And I hope I could inspire them, and I hope I can show that everything is really possible. I have a family, I have a hard, like a schedule at work. I have kids, I travel all over the world, I take part of cruises, I spend many weeks per year away from home. But if you have a supportive partner, everything is really possible, is as long as the passion and determination stays with you. The message for the new generation of women who have started now working maybe in micropaleontology is to say that if you love what you are doing, even if micropaleontology requests a lot of patience, and now it's much easier to throw samples in machines and that get immediately data, keep following that pleasure and that passion, because you can really fantasize and create your own palaeoenvironment, your own figuring out how Earth was in the past by looking at fossil under the microscope, something that other I think scientists by putting samples in a machine can't do. So micropaleontology is also romance.
Thank you, Francesca.
You're welcome.